Right now, start clapping, start clapping, start clapping. The Cheers crowd! We're alive again, my goodness, I love it. It's so much fun. Debate's over. Excellent, that's good. I'm happy to be here. Hell yeah. I'm a little tired. I went for a run earlier today. Everybody does this. Morning, you heard this? It was weird though, while I was jogging, I looked down on the ground. I was there with you guys before. I looked down on the ground and there was just a condom laying on the ground. And I've seen that before in like parking lots and stuff too. And it's always so strange to me because I think it's like, whoever did that, right? It's like, you just did something so responsible. And then you littered. What is that? It's like putting your seatbelt on right before you drive your car into an orphanage. There's a logic there, but it's not great. You didn't laugh. An orphan? Yeah, okay, cool. I know that laugh, that stare. You're loved, I swear to God. I work out so people want to fuck me. That's the main reason I exercise. Relatable, cool. I don't know. I've had sex with a fair amount of women, which normally it's like, I guess, a cool thing, but it kind of was a little weird with this girl, because like right before I was going to hook up with this chick not too long ago, she asked me how many people I had slept with. Don't ever do that. Like, there's no good answer to that question. Nobody's ever like, oh, cool, I love round numbers. It's always just super uncomfortable. I don't know. Some people do actually do that to people they like. That blows my mind. Why would you ever ask anyone you like how many people you've slept with? Asking someone you like how many people they've slept with, that's like taking your favorite junk food and then reading the nutrition facts in the bag. These numbers are higher than I expected. These numbers are higher than I expected. I no longer find it appetizing, and I can't believe what I've been willingly putting in my mouth this whole time. Glad that blowjob worked. Good stuff. I know what's up. Yeah, I read that joke by a girl I was in bed with. And she was like, that's funny, but don't forget to mention how disappointing your serving size is. Glad you guys found it funny. I did not. I've been single for a while. Actually, I was single for like 6 years, which is too long, I realized, because this is true. I recently took an online loneliness quiz. Yeah. Well, I was fine. I did all right. I scored. I got a 29 on their test. The quiz, and which on their scale is considered to be moderately lonely. So I was like, cool. I was like, I can work with that. But then I started like, I'm not in crisis, like no big deal. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if I trust that quiz, that score, that 29. Because like to get that answer to the 29, the moderately lonely, I had to answer like dozens and dozens of questions. And that's why I don't trust it. Because when you're taking an online loneliness quiz, there should really only be one question. And that question is, of course, are you currently taking an online loneliness quiz? Just a simple yes, no, true, false scenario. And if you answer yes, indeed, you're lonely as fuck. Like, that's how that works. When I started thinking about the 29 they gave me, and I started to get mad. I was like, dude, you're just gonna give me a number and walk away? It's like, I just asked the computer if I was lonely. Like, you're just like, if you're gonna give me a number, make it one I can use. Like the one to the suicide hotline. That'd be great. Yeah, that makes me feel better. I don't know. It's crazy. But I live in Brooklyn. I got a couple roommates in Brooklyn. I like them a lot. One of them, she's traveled like the whole world. She's been everywhere. She's planning a trip to go to the desert. She was telling me about it. Apparently, to get out from the city to the desert, she has to take a camel ride. I was like, that's cool. And she was like, well, apparently the company that books the camel rides, she said, also serves camel as a meal. I was like, that's disgusting. Also, how are you getting back? Like, that sure feels like a one-way camel trip to me. I don't know. You might want to call somebody if you're getting that camel. And I was grossed out by it. I was like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I was just like, how are you going to eat your ride? Like, how can you consume your mode of transportation? It really grossed me out. Also, because like camels are, they're also just like really filthy animals. But more than that, I was like that whole the fact that you're consuming your ride. It was just such a foreign idea to me. I was like, I don't know. I wasn't being racist, but I was being very culturally judgmental. I was like, these people are not like us. I was like, it's just too weird. I was having really like very judgmental thoughts like going through my head all day. And I got on the train with my roommate. We were going up to Manhattan. I was like, how can you eat their ride? That's so messed up. And we're on the train, and at one of the stops, like this homeless guy got in with us. And out of nowhere, all of a sudden, he just aggressively started licking one of the subway poles. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we're not so different after all. Yeah. I wanted to be like, dude, can't you just eat a camel like a normal person? What's your problem, buddy? I'm trying to learn more about history, reading about the presidents. I don't know if you guys know much about Abraham Lincoln. I learned this about him. I don't know if you ever noticed his face before. Very bizarre bone structure to look at. Super jutting jaw, like weird protruding cheekbones, like a big brow. And he was also 6'4", which is like, it's not that tall today, but that was a giant human being back then. That's like insane. He also had apparently really bad like mood swings, and they said he suffered from melancholy back in the day, which is old-timey speak for we don't have enough science to know what clinical depression is. Yeah. And so a lot of people in the medical community and historical community think that all these signs and symptoms are likely indicating that Lincoln was suffering from some kind of a brain tumor. Yeah, which I was like, wow, because obviously that can affect someone's decision making. And I was thinking like, oh my God, what if the tumors would end in slavery? Don't cry. But I was like, oh my God, what if the tumor ended slavery? Like, and then and I apparently had known this information for a while. And I was like, why aren't they teaching this to people? Like, I asked my nephew, like, did you learn this? I never learned this. She's like, no, I never learned that. And I realized the reason they're not going to teach that ever is because there's no way they're going to let like a teacher get up in front of his first grade class and be like, that's right, kids. When Abraham Lincoln ended slavery, he was out of his mind. Okay, never mind. That works literally 2 minutes ago. I know, it's a weird joke. It makes people uncomfortable sometimes. I get it. Because we're all obviously anti-slavery, but you didn't know that meant you were also super pro-cancer. Yeah. You guys like the sex stuff, not the race stuff. That's cool. You made a very clear indication. All right, I didn't realize. I thought it was in Manhattan, not Brooklyn. That happens sometimes. I don't know. I watched a prison documentary a little while ago. Any documentary people like to pretend that you read to your friends? That's what I do. Yeah. I watched a documentary about prison, and it was like, I don't know, you know prison's scary, but then you see it and you realize like, oh shit, it's like legit scary. You know what I mean? Like you all know, like, I don't know, there's a difference between like knowing something and seeing it. Like you know your parents have sex, but if you see it, it's like a whole other, it's like a weird, I don't know. So it was a very scary documentary. Like there were some chilling interviews, but the scariest part to me wasn't the interviews. It was this scene where this correctional officer was showing off this shiv he confiscated off one of the inmates. If you don't know what a shiv is in this case, it was a toothbrush that had been turned into a makeshift knife to stab and murder another one of the inmates. And that's when it hit me. I was like, holy shit, they're toothbrushing people to death in here? I was like, oh my God. I went into immediate denial mode. I was like, this has to be an isolated incident. There's no way this happened more than once. So I started Googling number of murders if you get toothbrush a year, and the numbers were staggering. Yeah, like I forget the exact figure, but the number was so high, legally the toothbrush company should have to mention it in the advertisements. Yeah, it kills bad breath bacteria, and that puto Hector who promised to smoke said he'd suck him up in the yard, but he never paid up. Recommended by 9 out of 10 dentists and 3 out of 4 OGs doing life on D-Block with nothing left to lose. I feel bad for the guy who got stabbed with the toothbrush. I feel even worse for the guy who invented the toothbrush, though, you know? Imagine if he found out about that. Like, they're doing what with my invention? I made that to help people, not hurt people. I was like, well, sir, if it's any consolation, the suspect was found standing over the victim's body, naked, covered in blood, holding a toothbrush, grinning ear to ear, and by all accounts, that smile was dazzling. A beautiful radiant grin. I'll take the good with the bad on that one, I think. You guys have been great. It's my time, but I don't know, you guys have been a fun audience. Somebody came up to me after a show, they were like, man, I can't believe you stand up comedy, it's like the hardest job in the world. And I was like, no, it is not, right? It's like there are way tougher gigs out there for sure, you know? And not just like, I don't know, like I think coroner's a tough gig, probably. It's probably a little bit tougher. And not just because you gotta hang out with dead people all the time or like be in a morgue, but I think there are like a lot of little etiquette things you gotta learn as you go. You know what I mean? Because you can't like read in a book, you just gotta pick them up on the job. Like let's say like a family is coming to identify a body, right? Like, what exactly do you think the proper speed to pull a sheet off a face is? Because you can't go too slow, but you definitely can't go too fast. Like, you're not a magician doing a card trick. You can't be like, voila, was this your son? All right, guys, you're great. Thanks so much.